geriatric things going on in here. Geriatric. Well, hello and welcome to this Tuesday. I'm just checking, it's Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday's movie news. I am Jonathan here to speak about some interesting movie news. There is some interesting movie news going about. I still look quite contrasty, shall we say. I'm using the Canon camera. Bought a new dummy battery for my Sony camera, and it's got a USB-C connector, which I don't have a fucking plug for. So I'm back to the Canon for now, manually focusing. Stephen usually has this one on him. I usually have a Sony. The Sony's out the game just now, till tomorrow though, so I'm back with the Canon. It doesn't matter what fucking camera I'm using. I'm here to speak about movie news. And the headline for me today, there was a couple of headline-worthy topics, but the headline for me is this one here. Everyone's second favourite Danish actor, I think he's Danish, Bill Skarsgård. Everyone's favourite is Mads Mikkelsen, for me anyway, and everyone I know loves Mads, number 1. Bill, number 2, and his dad, Stellan, I think it is number 3, and his other brothers are maybe somewhere in the top 5 as well, because there's about 50 Skarsgård siblings, and just family members in general, who all seem to act to a very high standard. Now, why I'm excited about this? Well, it's coming in from Empire, that Bill is joining John Wick 4. And I thought back to the villains in the previous John Wick movies, and I do believe it was Alfie Allen who played the little dweeby, skinny villain in the first John Wick movie. His father, I can't recall who played his father, the actual head sort of Russian mobster. The second movie expanded it out quite a bit. There was a lot of villains in there. None of them, I think it was actually the singer. I can't think of his name. Sort of shaved head guy. He was the best villain in that movie for me. And of course we have Winston, played by the guy I never remember, whose name I never remember. He's played a sort of continuous flip-flopping kind of guy, the head of the Continental Winston. If you've watched the movie, you'll know who I'm talking about. If you haven't, you won't have the scoobiest ideas what I'm talking about. He's Swedish. You've helped me out there, Ruth. He's Swedish, is he? Bill Skarsgård's Swedish. Are you sure? Is he Swedish? You're probably right. He's taller. The actor brother who was in, what was he in? Oh, he was in a movie recently I watched. It was in the sort of Herculean one. Played like a huge sort of muscly actor. He lost a ton of weight for it, shredded right down. He's Swedish, yeah, he's Swedish. That's a shame. I was going to do a little thing there about how I've done an ancestry test and it kind of blends in. Why I love Danish actors so much, why I love Denmark. So I've got Danish Viking blood in me. It doesn't work now because he's Swedish. I've got no Swedish in me. It's just Danish and Norwegian. Tarzan, that was the one. Tarzan. He lost a ton of weight. Unbelievable shape. And he says he couldn't keep it up because obviously the diet just wasn't something you could keep up long term. Great actor though, man. I can't recall his name. I can't recall that Skarsgård. It's the other Skarsgård. Is it Sterling's the dad, isn't it? But Bill, speaking about Bill Skarsgård, my eyes getting an issue clearing again. Love it. It's the light. The light is so bright. I've got a ring light, 18-inch ring light. It's like the moon. I feel like Buzz Aldrin or Neil Armstrong when they were on the moon, looking up at the sun. I had to think there. The sun. Alexander Skarsgård, he's good as well. They're all good. They're all good. Bill's my favourite though, of the Skarsgård clan, if you'd like. Obviously played Pennywise. He was in Bill. Yeah, Bill is the dad, and Bill the dad as well. I thought it was Sterling. Bill's amazing though. I love Bill. He was in obviously chapter 1 and 2. He was in The Devil All Around, a movie I thoroughly enjoyed. Absolutely incredible cast. Obviously the likes of Sebastian Stan in there, Robert Pattinson, Tom Holland, Jason Clarke. Stacked cast, and he really did hold his own as the sort of emotive main figure in the first act of the movie. He played an alcoholic father. Now this guy's played a lot of different roles over the years. He's played the villainous Pennywise, as everyone knows. There's no doubt in my mind that he's a tremendous actor, but can he do? I mean, look, I've not looked at every single movie he's done. I've not even got his filmography up in front of me. But can he do this sort of slick action potential villain? I don't know if that's in his actual toolbox of what he can do as an actor. I presume he can. He's a big, tall, young guy. So, and he's a great actor. So I've got no doubt in my mind he is going to be upping the acting game in this John Wick 4 movie. Because like we spoke about it the other day, I think it was Sandro came in and says that he didn't rate Keanu Reeves as an actor, and like I did say, sorry, it is Sterling. Yeah, I thought it was Sterling. Yeah, Sterling's been in a lot of shit, a lot of stuff, British stuff as well, like TV shows, appearing in British TV shows. An amazing actor as well, Sterling. Really talented brood that this guy's produced, just unbelievable, man. The calibre of acting that's come out of the one family. There's another one off the top of my head that rings a bell. Can't think of them just now for some reason. It's annoying me that I can't think of that acting. The usual suspects guy and the other guy. Why am I blanking on their names? Horrendous. Doesn't matter. Move on. Needless to say, he will up the acting. The Baldwins. Fuck me. Alex Baldwin. Oh, Steve Baldwin. How did you forget the Baldwins? Unbelievable. That's what the camera does to you when you're live. I have no doubt in my mind that Bill Skarsgård will be absolutely incredible. He will up the acting calibre of this movie because, as Sandro did say, the main man, John Wick himself, he's not a great actor, is he, man? He isn't a great actor, Keanu. He's a guy that we all love. For me, I've grown up with him. He was in Speed when I was 6 years old. I think I was 6. And he is a tremendous personality, Keanu. You're glued to him. He's got that magnetism. I don't know what it is. He's almost like your friend. He's like someone you could know outside. He hasn't been wild with the wonders of Hollywood and stardom. He is a regular guy. He doesn't cycle. He drives around in his sort of motorcycle. Just a easy, average Joe kind of guy, but a brilliant action hero. And that's why he is a compelling watch when he's in these movies like Soft Speed. Even John Constantine, I think it was. And then also the John Wick series. And then he goes off and does things that are absolutely terrible, like that sort of female one where it's the two women kidnap him in his own house and beat the shit out of him. He does some zany, wacky, original, independent stuff. Does amazing acting stuff. Where am I going with this? Well, he isn't the best actor in the Hollywood game, is he? And you bring in a guy like Skarsgård to act alongside him, it could prove to be a wise choice. He could be the guy that ups the sort of acting standard in the movie. Because look, man, I'm trying to remember the guy who was in the second movie, the shaved head guy who played the assassin. I think he was in the first one, actually. He didn't come back for the second one. I can't remember his name. It's a single word name. I can't fucking think of him, but he wasn't the best actor either. He was a sort of slick operator. And we are having, look, I've not even read the article, we have got Donnie Yen in this movie. Now, they say they don't know what the role's going to be. They've not got any real idea what he's going to be playing in this. You presume he'll be playing either a sort of gangster head figure or he will be playing another assassin out to get John Wick. And we have here that's confirmed that Donnie will be playing an old friend in this movie. So that excites me tremendously. Donnie Yen alongside Keanu Reeves doing some crazy action shit. And look, Donnie's an amazing martial artist, a brilliant actor as well. One of these standouts from Rogue One for me. And then you've got the Ip-Man quadruple movie. I don't know what you'd call that. Quadrilogy. Because there's 4 movies now, and he was tremendous in that. So really looking forward to seeing Donnie Yen, and I'm amazingly excited about the fact that we've got the intro again. About that tells you you've been rambling too long in that scene. When you go back to the original, the main scene, and the intro comes up, that means you have been lingering way too long on the article, and I've not even read the fucking article, incidentally. But I'm really excited for Bill Skarsgård coming into this franchise. There must be something in the script that he has seen that really does tickle his fancy, because this is a guy who will be not short of offers in Hollywood, big drama movies as well. So he must see something that's compelling him with this script, and they must look. We know that it's Chad Stahelski, I think it is, who's done it. It's right there in front of me, and also he is working in tandem with Keanu Reeves to craft the script. We know they're doing back-to-back movies. We know there's Continental spin-offs happening, TV shows. This is exciting times for the John Wick franchise, man. Hopefully they do something a little bit different, and they have consistently changed with the movies, man. The third one for me was absolutely amazing. I loved it. I think it was Charlize Theron, if I'm not wrong. He goes to sort of Madagascar, I think it was. I may be wrong. I think it was Madagascar. And the action with the dogs was unbelievable. They open it up in the second one. They expand this criminal underground. They sort of what's the word I'm looking for? A foundation of mythology, if you like, with how this world works. Then the third one, they expand out in it a little bit more with the sort of guy, a man that played Stannis, I think. Was it fucking Stannis? It wasn't Stannis. Bronn. Was it Bronn? I don't even know. I've not watched Game of Thrones in years, but the sort of Yorkshire guy who was friends with Tyrion Lannister's Peter Dinklage's character, he was in it. He played the guy that gets sort of, I think he may get his bollocks kicked, or the balls may have been ravaged by the dogs. they've done something different with each iteration, and they have to do something different with this fourth one, and bringing in Bill Skarsgård's a good fucking start, and then you add that with Donnie Yen. You've got me there, man. You've got me hook, line and sinker. I'm moving on. Speaking about Keanu Reeves, I was about to say Chadwick Boseman. I don't know why. Chadwick came into my mind. He does a lot. Brilliant actor. Tremendously missed. But yeah, not Chadwick Boseman, sadly. Keanu Reeves. Speaking of Keanu Reeves, we have got a briefest of little insights into this DC League of Super Pets movie, and it was actually the great Dwayne Johnson who shared it. I got a message on my phone there. I'm not caring about. I'm doing a show. It was the absolute hero, the living legend for me that is Dwayne Johnson, and the absolute inspirational figure for me, a guy that does weight training and just looks up to this guy in every level. Just an inspirational figure, the way he leads his life, immaculately. Great human being, off the screen, brilliant, and improving actor on the screen. Best paid actor in Hollywood. He fucking shared it. That's the point I'm making. He shared the briefest of little clips. I can't clip it because it will get copyrighted. Not that we make any money off of this anyway, we don't. But they'll strike the channel if I press it. Nothing to say really. It's well, apart from the theme, the Superman theme, that will definitely get copyright striked. But it's this little guy here. I think he is playing. What's his name? Let's bring the name up. What is his name? Crypto. Of course it is, because he's Superman. He's like Superman of dogs. He zips around, it's the theme, sits down, zips around. It looks cool as hell, man. It looks like The Secret Life of Pets meets DC superhero Dumb, if you like. And I've added Dumb in there. We've got a comment here. Not dumb as in you're dumb. Dome as in dome. Superhero Dome. Sandro, Mike Zero, what are you going to say now? Kathleen Kennedy on set with Harrison Ford. Oh, she's not, is she? Oh, please tell me not. She is the head of Lucasfilm, though, when they do own the rights to Indiana Jones, so it's under her tutelage, if you like. It's her, yeah, it's her job to oversee it. Look, I really enjoyed The Force Awakens, and Harrison Ford was one of the key components of The Force Awakens. That was one movie that maybe Kennedy overseen with the help of J.J. Abrams and did a good job of. So maybe her coming in and overseeing Indiana Jones ain't such a bad idea. James Mangold's in there, man. I trust that guy with anything film related. And look, Kathleen Kennedy did go out and seek James Mangold for this role, for directing the movie, and she actually, and I'm going to be speaking about Indiana Jones 5 very, very shortly. She stuck out that, she helped bring in the likes of Phoebe Waller-Bridge and Mads Mikkelsen, so look, maybe she's not all bad. Look, she's got an illustrious career as a producer. I'm not going to down on Kathleen Kennedy tonight. I'm looking forward to Indiana Jones 5. But look, this movie, man, look at the cast. As I did say, it's like The Secret Life of Pets meets DC fandom, meets DC world. You've got Kevin Hart in there, you've got Dwayne Johnson. He is portraying Crypto, who looks fucking amazing. He looks like my dog with a cape on flying about. That's what my dog wishes he could do. You bring in Keanu Reeves, who has got a very, very unique voice, hasn't he? It's very dulcet and deep and original. So I'm excited to see. I think he's done a voice acting role before, but I'm excited to see him do it. John Krasinski, Vanessa Bayer, I don't know anything about her, and Diego Luna, Star Wars' very own Cassian Andor in there doing voice work. Kate McKinnon. I think these may be people from Saturday Night Live sort of fame, because they do say it in this little thing here. This is a tweet, it's a tweet. That's what it is, John. This is what Dwayne said. Ladies and gents and children of all ages, that's me, I'm a big child. I build Lego and stuff like that. Still my childhood years, I tell myself. That's why I let myself go to sleep at night, just saying I'm still young in my head. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce our star-studded DC League of Super Pets cast, playing our League of 2- and 4-legged heroes and villains. Now, I don't know much about the League of Pets, Super Pets. I don't know if this is something that's got a comic book origins. I don't know if there's anything compelling within this story. It may be utter trash. It may be terrible. We have had some terrible animated movies with stellar acting, voice acting, actors within there, talent within there. So I don't know how good this is going to be, man. DC have had a very mixed bag of releases over the last 10 years, let's be honest. Some brilliant movies, some absolutely terrible movies. I was going to say another word there and I'm glad I didn't. But this is, look man, this is the cast. Look, it's an amazing cast. What else can you say about it? I'm not going to linger on it too long, man, because to be quite frank, I don't know enough about the actual story. I don't know what the hell it's about. All I know is it has been delayed a year. It was supposed to have come out in 2019, I believe, 2020. Actually, it was 2020. It got delayed to 2022. And maybe that has allowed them to do some tinkering with the script. We have seen the likes of Taika Waititi coming out over the course of the last year and saying that this pandemic has allowed them some breathing room. They are normally getting badgered by these studios to get the movie out at all costs, and it affects the magic of the movie, of the script, the way they operate on the actual set. So Taika's come out and says it's freed up him to deliver the best possible script possible, to deliver the best possible movie possible. Maybe it's the same with this, man. Maybe the delaying of 2 years has allowed them to bring in some other voices, bring in some other characters, tinker with the story and make it brilliant. But look, man, I'm excited. It was a nifty little video that Dwayne shared, and it was a nifty little cast who have been assembled. And Kevin Hart working with Dwayne again. Look, they are just brilliant together. They have made $100 million plus. Well, not 100 million, but I mean, how much did Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle make? Over 500 million or something. I think it was a joke came out, and that's how you get a greenlit sequel and multiple other sequels greenlit as well. They have worked very well together, and just to see those two guys in the press junket bouncing off each other, it's worth its weight in gold for this movie alone, before you even get into the actual performances and what they're going to bring in the movie. Moving on to the third topic, Sandro's in the chat speaking about Indiana Jones 5. I am fucking quivering with anticipation for this movie. I'm not. I just thought I'd say something like that. I don't know why. But needless to say, there has been more set photographs leaked of this movie. It's the leakiest of ships in the Hollywood game. You've got Tom Cruise getting voice sort of things getting leaked, absolutely destroying the cast over COVID regulations and lax behaviour. And look, he's been right clearly, because there has been multiple COVID cases within the Mission Impossible 8, whatever the fuck one it is, 7, I don't know, I've lost the plot, within the actual cast, so it's been delayed again. So he was right to absolutely destroy them. But look, man, not much gets out of many Hollywood productions in terms of set leaks, but because it is in the north of England, the north east of England, and they are absolutely riddled with bobaggery, and I should know this because I come from Scotland, which is close to the north east of England, you're going to get leaks, and look, it's just the nature of the game. And look, I'm glad we're getting leaks, because it gives me something to actually speak about. Look at this, man. They've leaked Harrison Ford himself. He's got a mask on, but who gives a shit about the mask? All I care about is the outfit. And as you did say, Sandro, I'm saying I hope not. It's fucking right in front of me. There she is, there. Kathleen Kennedy. That is Kathleen Kennedy, isn't it? Am I losing the plot? That looks like Kathleen Kennedy to me. That's Kathleen Kennedy. That is, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that's Kathleen Kennedy. She's on the set with, I'm trying to convince myself, surely she's not on the set of Indiana Jones 5. Why is she in the northeast of England? It looks like her though. She's beside the great Harrison Ford. Look at the outfit, man. The outfit is just iconic at this point. This is set in the 1960s, and I've got another article outlining the script, and my god, I'm excited for it. Oh my god, it sounds incredible. This outfit though, I'll tell you what, Kathleen's looking nifty as well. She's looking pretty damn trendy. Like the little down jacket. A little bit unnecessary though. It's fucking roasting over here in Britain just now. Unbelievably warm. Sandro, Mike Zero getting paid for telling lies at the fans. Well, if he's talking about Kathleen Kennedy being on the set with Harrison Ford, man, it looks as though he's telling the truth for a change, because that does look like Kathleen Kennedy. Do you think Kathleen Kennedy can sue the toxic people who is insulting her? Well, you can always sue for libel, yes, and defamation. I don't know how it is over in the States, but certainly over in the United Kingdom, if someone libels you, defames your name, you can actually take them to court, and that's what Johnny Depp did with The Sun. Sadly, he lost, because Rupert Murdoch's pockets are very deep. But yes, you can always take people, you can sue them for libel. Whether you win or not, it's another thing entirely. You have to prove that you have had your name dragged through the dirt, if you like. But look! Choking on my own saliva here. Spit him, if you'd like, to quote Steve Coogan, who I love. Went down a rabbit hole with him the other night, incidentally, but that's for another day. Indiana Jones 5, the rumoured plot, man. Now, I hope this plot is absolutely bang on. I don't know the credentials of Sandy Schaefer from CBR, but I hope that the credentials are right. It's coming from the Illuminati, and apparently they have uncovered the alleged story and character details. And as you can see, it will unfold against the backdrop of 1960s and the 1960s space race between the US and Soviet Union to reach the moon. But there is more layers to this, because as you know, if you've ever watched an Indiana Jones movie, I struggle to say Indiana there, nearly slurred it, that's concerning. If you've ever watched any of those movies, you'll know that they always have a Nazi in there. They just love to slap the Nazis about. And look, don't we all? The Nazis were absolute scumbags, and they deserve to be slapped about. And if it's in cinematic form in a make-believe movie, all the fucking better. It's set during the space race, and if you know anything about the history of the United States of America, you will know that they are devious shitheads who utilised evil Nazi scientists for their own gain. Operation Paperclip. Being a Joe Rogan fan and watching it, he has regaled me with his guess of the Nazi deeds within the NASA organisation and how they actually brought the US to the moon. Allegedly, some people think they didn't get to the moon. That's what this is going to be set against. This is the backdrop this movie is going to be set against. Yes, Kathleen Kennedy, yeah, she's the producer, so she should be there. She's orchestrating it, and she's a great producer, so I'm excited for that. I just don't like her leading Star Wars, because I just don't think she's an out-and-out Star Wars fan. She's a great producer, so do what she does best. Mike Zero didn't say Kathleen Kennedy's not on the set of Indiana Jones 5. He said in his many videos that she is fired. Well, he's fucking wrong then, isn't he? Because she's not fired. No, she's definitely not fired. She's still the Lucasfilm president, and she's still going to be working. Even if she wasn't president of Lucasfilm, she'd be working as a producing figure on the movie. She's got the respect of George, she's got the respect of Bob Chapek and Disney. So when you have a career that she's had with her husband, producing just a plethora of amazing movies, you'll not be short of work ever. And she is going to work to whenever the fuck she wants to work, and she'll work with the best studios. But look, man, needless to say, this is the supposed script that we're going to be getting for Indiana Jones 5, and I hope it's true. This is what they say. Mads Mikkelsen is set to play a Nazi scientist. Oh my god, it's perfect. It's perfect, man. He's already played a sort of morally suspicious scientist in Rogue One, and he was amazing. He brought one of the best acting sequences to a Star Wars movie ever, and that sort of holograph scene with Jyn Erso, his daughter, tremendous. And then what came after it with the actual Death Star attack, oh, amazing. So this sounds good already. This is playing right into my hands already. He's recruited by the US agent to work for NASA. That did happen, possibly as a part of Operation Paperclip. Yes, a real life secret intelligence operation. Yes, where the US hired over 1,600 Nazi engineers and technicians. Absolute bastards. And the Russians done it as well. Following the end of World War II, some of these people were horrendous, horrific human beings. Worked in torturing and stuff like that. Despicable medicinal, if that's correct, trials. Testing how people would react to grenade explosions and stuff like that. Truly fucking horrendous, despicable human beings. And they brought them over to use them and gave them almost immunity for their actions. Terrible, terrible, terrible. The shady things that go on behind government doors. But needless to say, this is the backdrop of this movie, and it's perfect, man. I'm sorry, it's set in the 60s, it's in the space race. And this is apparently Sinead Renee Wilson. She's joined the film cast. She'll play the CIA handler who's tasked with keeping a close eye on Mikkelsen's Nazi villain. The latter will have a woman's sidekick in the form of an evil, brutal killer who's yet to be cast, although Scarlett Johansson supposedly passed on the role. Look, man, he is infamous for playing antagonistic roles. I says at the time I think he would play an antagonist when it was announced that he would be joining this movie. And playing a Nazi scientist, part of Operation Paperclip, who's maybe going rogue, that is just unbelievable, man. And to have Indiana Jones in there, perhaps bring them down. Perfect, absolutely perfect script for me. I hope it's true. Mangold's involved. You've got Thomas Kretschmann in there as well. Almost works, doesn't it? Because Thomas Kretschmann always plays a fucking Nazi. Always. This guy is the go-to actor if you want to play an actor, a Nazi character. He done it amazingly in The Pianist. He's done it in umpteen other movies. I think he actually played in Stalingrad. Stalingrad, a great movie. Telling the sort of German side of it. Horrendous. It all makes sense. They're bringing in German actors and Danish actors who could play German actors, German characters. So it all seems to align, and it's fucking exciting, man. And you see Indiana Jones on the set. Yes, I said Indiana Jones instead of Harrison Ford, and it's exciting times. What was I say? Yes, she is the boss of Lucasfilm. Doomcock. Just come on, please. Just don't mention Doomcock. Just don't fucking mention that clown on this channel. He's a clown. That guy is not to be taken serious. I think it was him that was making up the shite about the Batman as well, about the execs at Warner Brothers, saying they didn't like the Batman. There was dissenting voices within the studio not like the Batman. Load of absolute shite. They signed Robert Pattinson up to a fucking multi-picture deal, first look deal. They're working with Matt Reeves. What a load of bollocks. Doomcock is a fucking clown. So, yeah. Clown. What else can I say? He wears a mask, man. and he uses a voice changer. No one cares, mate. Fucking, honestly, he's a joke figure to me. Moving on to the next topic. Maybe I should use a voice changer and I put a mask on, I'll get 1 million subscribers. Just make up shite. And when it doesn't come true, yeah, just continue making up shite. That seems to be how you get subscribers on this platform. A Quiet Place 2, I couldn't fit Conjuring 3 in as well. They are proving that horror is still big, but not just big, but big at the box office. They are absolutely tearing it up. These two movies are tearing it up. They're kind of trading places at the moment. And you could argue that Cruella is perhaps a horror as well, and Hit has done very well at the box office too. Now, it's not, I don't know how it's done over here, because I've not looked at the raw box office figures, but it's doing very, very well in the United States. I've not looked at the raw box office figures there as well. I'm just taking their word for it. MovieWeb in this case. But they're saying that, and this is what they're saying, I'll read it out. The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. I've still not seen it yet. I'm going to see it this week at some point. I'm going to go and see A Quiet Place 2 as well. Won the top spot away from A Quiet Place Part 2, but the margin wasn't wide between them. The Conjuring movie, which is actually the 8th movie in the overall franchise. No, it's not. The franchise, the spin-offs don't count. They're shite. We just count the Conjuring movies. We don't count Annabelle and The Nun. Terrible movies. We just count the Conjuring movies. And I've watched the reviews of Jan's and Stuntman. Very different reviews. I'm going to trust Stuntman on this one. And he says it's okay, but it's not the best of these franchises. That's fucking fine. When you've not got James Wan in there, you accept not being the best, but being okay. But needless to say, that aside, has made $24 million over the 3-day weekend. A Quiet Place Part 2. Is that had just come out, The Conjuring, over there? That's late. A Quiet Place Part 2 still proved to have legs, coming in second with $19.5 million. Paramount Pictures will be pleased, blah blah blah, because it's I think that one's just releasing solely in the theatres. It's not got the sort of supporting blanket, the supporting net, I don't know why I said blanket, of a streaming service release as well. So they went with the ballsy decision of releasing this in the theatres during the pandemic, albeit hopefully the later stages. And it's paying dividends for them, man. They've made big money on this movie. And it proves that in the States, at least, because I know historically in the United Kingdom, horror movies don't do as well. But it proves that in the States, there is still a market for great horror movies, or even good horror movies. And if you make it, they will come. Like that fucking baseball one with, I think, Kevin Costner, that I loved, Field of Dreams. Build it and they will come. I loved that movie. Oh, when I was a kid, I loved it. The 90s were a simpler time, man. A good time. Oh, it was great. I'm so, how shall I say it, thankful to be a 90s kid, man, and grew up with the movies that I actually watched. I pity the kids now, man, that grew up with the absolute shite that comes out for kids these days. It was a better time, man, a better time. But look, I'm getting sidetracked with nostalgia. Let's get off it and come back onto this. So far, the movie has made a total of $88 million in the States alone, with a surge of moviegoers choosing to go and see it over the last weekend, which was Memorial Day weekend, which is a big weekend for releases. I'm not going to read this entire article on board, but needless to say, $88 million is very, very strong. That's a very strong showing for The Conjuring. Not The Conjuring, for A Quiet Place 2. And hopefully The Conjuring, with that strong opening, $29 million did they say it opened with? Let's go back and just double check. $24 million. That's a very strong opening as well, man, for a movie of this ilk, the third in a franchise during a pandemic. So it's promising for the studios, man. They've had to have a long barren patch, a year and a half of essentially being half opened and then not opened at all. The likes of AMC, trillions of dollars in debt. They needed a resurgence. And with these being smaller releases in the grand scheme of things, when you think of what's to come, No Time to Die, the huge Marvel releases, I'm trying to think what else is coming out. There's an abundance of great movies still to come out, big movies as well. So these studios as well, and the theatres will be rubbing their hands with glee at the performance of these movies, because it's promising for when Shang-Chi and Eternals and all of that come out. I think they will do strong. I think they'll probably make in the region of, I'm trying to find out where my mouse cursor is here, in the region of $600-700 million. I think they can do it worldwide, maybe even $1 billion. So good to see the movie industry rebounding after that horrendous year, because it was a horrendous year for a multitude of reasons. Doomcock and Mike Zero, both are trolls. I take Mike Zero over Doomcock. Mike Zero over Doomcock. Mike Zero at least shows his face, and it takes balls to show your face, believe me. He's not the best looking guy. He's like a combination of Brian May and someone else. Stephen has got the best combination. He comes up with the other guy. He's kind of like Brian May with a hairdo. He cut his hair though, didn't he? But I tip my hat to Mike Zero, because he's got the tenacity to actually show his face. Whereas Doomcock is a fucking coward. He doesn't show his face. he hides behind a helmet. So he gets no respect from me whatsoever. And he talks one load of shite, as I did say. So, no respect from me. I take Mike Zero over Doomcock. Look, I'm going to move on. I'm getting distracted by my watch again. I don't know why it keeps vibrating. It's a pain in the arse. Rocky IV, the director's cut. Now, we have been speaking about this movie quite a bit recently. I think there was a poster came out, first poster. Spoke about the whole cut in general, how it's very interesting that he's picked this one over the, what is it, 6 movies the Rocky franchise is, maybe, I don't know what the word is. 6 movies that has cumulatively, I can't even fucking speak tonight, cumulatively stretched out from, we have got 2 Creed movies, but I don't count them, they are Creed movies, not Rocky. Rocky 1 through to 5, and then the Rocky Balboa movie, it is 6. Why has he chosen this one? That was the one, the sort of question we were pondering. I try to say cumulative, and cumulatively at this time at night is fucking brave for me. Speaking about bravery, that's brave. I can't even say that during the afternoon, let alone this time, knocking on the door of 12 AM. Needless to say, man, there is another, I like to say needless to say a lot, there is another poster out, and I'm just going to bring up the actual Twitter thing. It is Twitter, no. I'm ending the actual show with 2 poster topics, and it's not this one I brought up. This was on Instagram, so it's not the best website to look at, because they do not fucking scale their images. They are the same size. On the desktop, you can't zoom in, and it's a pain in the arse. But it gets a theatrical release, I've said, and it also gets a new poster for said theatrical release. Look at that poster, man. As a guy who is a fan of posters, movie posters, and likes to buy the fancy ones that have kind of the matte finish, they don't shine when you've got lights in them. I want to get my hands on that poster, man. It's absolutely tremendous. You've got the 2 stars at the bottom. You've got the Soviet sort of sickle and hammer. And you've got these stars and stripes, which is just perfect for the actual movie itself, which is sort of the movie that everyone slags off for saying it ended the Cold War. It's America versus the Soviets. The Cold War. Yada yada. Ivan Drago, Rocky Balboa. I fucking liked this movie, man. I have to say, it wasn't the best of the Rocky movies by any stretch, but one of the better ones. Had one of the better sort of workout montages as well. Him and the Soviets, whatever the fuck it was, he was doing his training, the one-arm push-ups and the pull-ups, and just going out and running in the snow and stuff like that. It was a great movie, man. And look, the ending, it's just the typical Rocky ending. He gets the shit kicked out of him, but he has this inner spirit, never say die attitude, and he comes to the fore when it matters and beats the big Swede who's playing a Soviet. That's how Hollywood works. I'm going to be intrigued to see how this director's cut plays out, man. How they are going to fill in some elements. This is the true sort of vision. Speaking about Taika Waititi earlier, and how they interfere and they change the vision of the director, the time, and try to get it done and get it out. It impacts the vision they had. It impacts maybe the final cut. He's going back, 30 years later, and changing it and making his coherent vision a reality. And look, man, I tip my hat to him. He's a great director, he's a great writer, and he was a good actor, man, and a good action hero. I grew up watching this guy's movies as well, so I respect this guy tremendously, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings. And I love that fucking poster. And again, the fact that it is getting a November theatrical release, I think that just shows you it is getting a November theatrical release. Yeah, November. It just shows you how the industry and Hollywood in general is changing its views towards this pandemic. They must see that the end is in sight now for this as well, in terms of going to the cinema. If they are even having the balls to release this in the theatres, then it shows you how much we've came in the last year and a half, that things like this could come out, because you're delaying big $250 million blockbusters because they're terrified about reaction and people being scared to go to the theatres. They're releasing a director's cut in the theatres, and I would go and watch it, man. I would definitely go and watch this movie because I loved it. But look, we've got another couple of comments. Please read the other comment. What one's this? Doomcock is getting backlash from Pito because of the lies he's telling. He told the Star Wars fans. Yeah, he spoke one load of shite. I switched off. I used to watch him. I actually used to watch Geeks and Gamers. It was Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, and he started doing like joint videos with Doomcock, and I listened to the guy's crap, and I called it out right away. I says, this guy's an absolute bullshitter. I don't like the whole channel, the falseness around it, the sort of scared the cats wear the mask thing, and yeah, he does. He just tells lies, and I'm glad he's getting called out and people are actually going after him. It's good to hear. He deserves it. He's a CUNT, but we don't say that word on here. Have you seen people saying that Kathleen Kennedy, that to Kathleen Kennedy? I did. Have you seen people saying what to Kathleen Kennedy? What is this? I don't see any other comments or link to what you're saying. What is it they've been saying to Kathleen Kennedy? I'm not sure. Oh, I've made my thoughts clear in Kathleen before in terms of Star Wars. I don't hate the woman. I think she's a great producer. But for me, they've made a balls of the sequel trilogy, and just Star Wars in general. The handling has not been great. And with Kathleen being the leader of Lucasfilm, and it's her job to sort of pick the directors and bring them in, she also made the mistake of bringing in Lord and Miller. Have I done that again? Yeah, Lord and Miller, Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I usually say the first name and the last name of one of them and combine it and make it look as though it's the two people. She also brought them in. She knew what they did. The sort of Jump Street, I think it was 22 and 23 Jump Street. I'm sure that was the name of them. She knew the style they had of being sort of humorous, off the cuff, sort of. What do you call it? It's not ad-libbing, it's the other name. Improvising, sort of improvisational directors. They do things in the hop, they change things up. She brought them in with that in mind, and then she changed her mind late into the production and sacked them. She wasn't happy with what they brought, and I thought that was just amateur hour for me. If you're the president of the studio, within a studio, and you are tasked with bringing in the directors, the people who are going to be working on the movie, you do your due diligence and make sure that those guys are exactly what you want for the movie. To cast them off 2-3 weeks before the production ends, that was fucking amateurish for me. And she's had real issues with other directors. The only one she didn't have was Rian Johnson, of course, and obviously JJ as well. I think JJ had issues as well, though, with sort of, you had to go and do reshoots, so that's my one issue. The Star Wars stuff, I've got issues with that, but as a producer, as a leader of Lucasfilm in general, I don't really care. She's a great producer, so I've got no issues with her working on Indiana Jones. I'm going to move on to the last topic. Fuck that. What's going on here? It's this one. I've got 6 topics tonight, not 5. Shock horror, John. You put the graphics together, you should know that. It says I was going to end on the other comment below. What is this one? The other comment below. What is this? Kathleen Kennedy, the boss. Mike Zero is not. Yeah, I've read all of them, man. Type it out again, man. I'll read it. Type it out again, if you will, and I'll read it out. It's getting backlash because of people talking about Star Wars. Yeah, I read all that one. If you type it out again, man, I'll respond to it. I've lost the plot with the comments. Final topic. We're speaking about Space Jam here. A new legacy. Look, growing up, I was a huge fan of Space Jam. Huge fan of Michael Jordan. Huge fan of... I like basketball. And Michael Jordan being the absolute GOAT. The proper GOAT. Not Lebron. He thinks he's the GOAT. But he's not. It's Michael Jordan. Being a fan of that guy and being a fan of the sport in general. Watched a lot of sports movies as a kid as well. I thoroughly enjoyed Space Jam. I thought it was a great wacky little movie. Bill Murray was in there, another big fan of him. It sort of combined two worlds for me, and it was a great movie. Can you compete with that movie and create a sequel and do something equally special in a new era where it's more cynical and the kids are a little bit more grown up and mature for their age? I don't know if it's going to work, man. You bring in LeBron. I've got no doubt LeBron's an amazing producer. He's a producer as well, and he's a great basketball player. But I've got my doubts about this movie. But one thing I don't doubt is the artistry and the animation. We know it's the same guy who did the first movie, worked with Disney in general for animating stuff. And he's gone back and listen, I know this isn't Disney, this is Warner Brothers, but I'm just saying he worked with Disney, they brought him in. I think he did work in the original one as well, the original animator. And he's doing the old school sort of 2D cartoon effect, and it's going to be absolutely incredible, man. I've not seen I think there was a first trailer, there's a final trailer, I've still not even seen the trailer incidentally. I did see the trailer, I'm talking shite, and it does look good. I'm going to bring up the article, this is why I'm speaking about it. This fucking poster, it's just dynamite. Look at the colours, man. Purple and orange now, not two colours that I'm normally a fan of. It's sort of symptomatic of the Orange Order in our country. To say as a Catholic Irishman of Catholic of Irish descent, to say that I'm not a fan of the Orange Order would be an understatement. They're not very nice to Catholics in Scotland or Irish people or anyone. If you're of a different creed or colour, they're slightly backwards. The Orange Order, they like the colours purple and orange. But look, that aside, that tangent aside, look at the logo. The logo's amazing, man. Look at the shot of LeBron jumping over the logo with his huge feet. Look at the size of those fucking trainers, man. Unbelievable. Sneakers, I should call them. We've got a little Tweety Pie up there. And it's just my childhood coming back, man. It's like nostalgia rushing back to me with a new protagonist. So look, and I don't recall who it is that's coming in. There's another guy coming in to play the sort of Bill Murray role, but it's a good choice. I remember speaking about it. And look, this makes me excited for the movie, man. It's going on HBO Max. It's releasing in theatres the same day, because of course it is. So I'm excited for this movie now, and looking forward to seeing it. Despite my doubts on whether it can top the original, I'm excited. What is this? Worse than garbage. You can't say that to a person. What is this? What is this? Worse than garbage. What are you talking about, man? I don't know what you're talking about, man. I've lost the plot. I'm talking about Doomcock, if that's what you're talking about. He's a fucking twat of a guy. So yeah, I say that to the guy. You can't say that to a person. What is it, the actual comment? Let's get back and see. What are they talking about, man? What are we talking about here? Let's read. Insult and blah 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 blah. I don't know, man. Yeah, Doomcock's a twat anyway. I don't like that guy. So that's my thoughts. I'm going to round the show up, man. I've got sidetracked a lot tonight. I'm going to round the show. What time is it anyway, man? It is 5 to 12 at night. I started this show at, I want to say, 12:15, so that's a good 40 minutes. It's not too bad. Going to round it up, man. What is your thoughts on the topics I touched on? What did you make about John Wick 4 and the great Bill Skarsgård joining the likes of Keanu Reeves and the guy who plays Winston and all of the other shebang? What do you make about that? Are you excited about that? Are you excited about that casting, what it could do to elevate the performances of the movie? What do you make about this DC Pets, Super Pets thing, League of Super Pets, the voice cast talent that they have brought to that movie, Kevin Hart, the likes of that, Diego Luna? What's your thoughts on it? You can comment below about that. What do you make about Indiana Jones 5, the little leak photo of the great Harrison Ford on the set in that iconic uniform? What do you make about that potential script? I'm fucking like, it's dynamite. I'm looking forward to it. You can comment about any of the other topics as well if you feel compelled to share your thoughts about them down below in the comment section. You can like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, hit the follow button over on Twitch if you want to see more content like this in the future, and you will get it, guys. I'll be back with Stephen tomorrow, actually reviewing Loki, not doing any movie news, and I can't tell you how excited I am for Loki. The reviews are in, and apparently it is tremendous. I look a little bit dodgy there on that screen. I look as though I've had a stroke. It's froze. Hopefully that is not the case, but I'm excited for Loki. Look, you can subscribe, follow if you want to see it. If you don't, that's absolutely fine. But until then, guys, I'm done. Bye bye. Is it froze? It looks as though I've had a stroke. It doesn't look like that in the OBS, but it looks like that in the restream screen. Worrying. Bye, guys. I'm always excited for John Wick, man. Always. Went to see it in the theatres. Just a great franchise. Cannot wait for it. Bye bye. Lucky you, Ruth. Because it is. It's Wednesday already, isn't it, for you? I need to wait till tomorrow. 8:30. Fuck. I'm not a morning person. I'll see it tomorrow evening. Bye again.